Let's do this shit. Hello, hello, hello. No one's watching yet, but people will file in, I'm sure, momentarily. Hello, Thought Patrol. Oh, yeah, I have a special guest with me today. Charlie. Uh, Knowing him, he'll probably leave like within the next 5 minutes because he doesn't like it when I'm in here talking and not paying full attention to him. But for now, he's here. I think this is the first time I've ever had him on a stream. I believe. I don't know. You can correct me on that. Anyway, as the title suggests, I am back from Florida. I was there for a week from last Saturday to this past Saturday, or was this past Saturday technically last Saturday? Whatever. I was there for a week, and it was certainly a very different experience. It was the first time I've ever flown on a plane. First time. I've been to other states before, of course. I've been to places like Jersey and Connecticut, but I live here in NYC, and obviously that's just a few hour drive away, so that's really nothing. But again, this is the first time I've ever been on an airplane to and from a state, and it was nice. It was very exhilarating. And again, a very different experience. Florida is definitely a very different atmosphere from New York, very quiet, a little on the hot side. I'm not a big fan of how Florida is always like pretty hot. I mean, I know some days are cooler than others, but it's obviously a state that's closer that has the sun closer to it than NYC does. But yeah, all in all, it was a very enjoyable trip. I was there with my mother, my father, my grandmother. It was a very nice time. I saw my aunt and uncle that moved down there in recent years that I haven't seen in a long time. Well, that's kind of a lie. I saw them this past Thanksgiving when my father first when I saw my father for the first time in like 5 years. But I actually got to spend a week with them, and it was very nice. It was the longest time I've ever spent with my father, with my grandmother on my father's side. Again, it was a very cool trip, and I didn't take very many pictures. I didn't take very many videos. I was thinking of maybe doing like a Florida vlog thing on this channel when I get back, but I really do not have enough material for that. I'm not the type of person to really take pictures and videos all that much. I'm sorry. I'm more of a person that likes to live in the moment and savor the moment and not take out a camera and start recording because I feel like it detracts from the moment. But yeah, that's just me though. But I figured, I may as well talk about it a little bit on the stream because why not? I don't know if this stream will be as long as my streams usually are. I don't know if I'll go past 2 hours with this one. But yeah, I haven't been reading any of the messages. Hello, names. Hello, Tom. I like living in bumfuck nowhere. I like living in NYC. I mean, it's obviously not a place for everyone, especially if you're a person that doesn't like areas with a bunch of people and a lot of noise. Like every second of every day, you hear a car zooming by or a motorcycle zooming by or sirens. But it's something that I'm used to, obviously, because I've lived here my whole 20 years of existence thus far. But I don't know. I mean, you'd think someone like me who is not a social person at all, likes to keep to himself a lot, would like more quiet places. But I don't know. Since this place has been my home for my whole entire life, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I'd rather not live in like, actual bumfuck nowhere where, you're kind of isolated from a bunch of people. I want to live further bumfuck nowhere than I am right now when I get my own home. That's valid. That's understandable. 7 people here. Whoa. Someone's calling on the house phone. I'm sure you can hear that. But how are all of you doing? I'm obviously doing well. um, but yeah, how are all of you doing? I was trying to think of something else to say. I look like hell today. I'm sorry. I didn't shower last night. I usually shower the night prior to doing these streams, but I didn't do it this time. Very, very sorry for not looking professional today. You're doing good? Well, that's good. Don't want to go to work? I can understand that. I got college finals coming up. I mean, I'm doing well in all of my classes. I'm not failing or anything, but it's still something that I'm not looking forward to at all. I don't like taking tests. I've never been a test taking person. Always fucking hated them. But I am glad to finally get the semester over with and have that really nice and long break for the summer. There goes Charlie. I told you he was gonna leave. But I, I'm looking forward to the break. I really, really am. Because, by the time the semester is over, I am so fucking spent. I do not want to focus on classwork anymore, and I'd rather just take a break from it for a while, which is coming very, very soon. Oh my fucking God, who is calling? Anyway, it's coming very, very soon, and I'm happy that this semester is coming to an end, and I can enjoy a nice long break from this month all the way until the end of August. I remember back when I was in high school, I used to have summer vacation from June until September, and people would shit on me at first and be like, "You have to go to school until June." I get off in May. Sucks to be you. And then they go back in August, and I'm still on summer vacation, so I get the last laugh. I'm also very, very happy to be back. Well, a big reason why I'm very, very happy to be back home is not just because, well, this is obviously home and I'm not in someone else's house anymore and I feel a little more free. Another big reason why I'm happy to be back home is this thing right here. PlayStation 5. I don't know if the camera's showing it or not, whatever. That was probably a fail, but it's very nice to be able to use this thing again. It's been untouched for a whole entire goddamn week up until Saturday. Speaking of that, anyone hear that Discord is partnering up with Sony finally? I mean, I know you have to wait until at least until early next year to finally use Discord on the PlayStation, but I'm happy that this is finally fucking coming. This is a feature that I've wanted on the PlayStation even before I had a PlayStation. This is a feature I wanted, and I am happy that it is finally here. Hallelujah. The stage is too hard, huh? Nothing to worry. Just let our little AI do all the trouble. Well, I'm not doing that shit. No, thank you. No, thank you. I've made my thoughts on that clear in my last video. It's funny that just before this, people were saying Microsoft will buy Discord. Well, weren't they like in talks like a month ago? I heard nothing ever came of that. I think Discord rejected Microsoft's offer or something like that. But yeah, I'm happy they didn't go with Microsoft because I don't play on the Xbox and I don't intend on ever playing on the Xbox. I don't know. I really don't know why anyone would feel enticed to play on an Xbox. Thing has no fucking exclusives, and it's basically just an underpowered PC. I mean, I know the PlayStation 5 is less powerful than the Xbox Series X and all that, but at least there's more of an incentive to get a PlayStation. Like, It has actual exclusives. I don't know. Most of my friends play on PlayStation anyway. I think the same goes for like most people. I have like one or two friends that are Xbox peasants, and let's just say they get a lot of shit for that from my other friends. Most people are like PCs are too expensive, PCs are hard to build. Well, my excuse for not having a PC is I have nowhere in my room to put one. So I'm just here. I just have this Mac here, this MacBook Pro here. I'm happy with that, and yeah. I just bought mine custom built because I don't know shit about computers. Same. I'm not a tech person at all. Jesus Christ, two people. The stream is dead as fuck. I guess lesson is learned. I'll never do a Monday stream again because it seems like people are more. It seems like people are more willing to join a stream on on a Friday. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I really applied myself and you know learned how to build a PC, I'd be able to do it fine. But I'm fucking lazy. I don't feel like doing that. And plus, I'm not one to really care about having the top tier graphics, top tier experience. For me, I'm old fashioned. If a game is fun, that's good enough for me, usually. I wish I could trade Microsoft for a Sega that never failed. Yeah, I heard the Dreamcast was a pretty competent console and a pretty solid console that just got dealt a shitty hand. I mean, I talk about the GameCube deserving a much better deserving a lot better than what it got when it was out. But look at the fucking Dreamcast. I think that shit sold even worse than the Wii U. I believe. I don't know. Maybe it sold a little better. But yeah, it would certainly be interesting if Sega had never failed and they were still in the console making business. I wonder, would it be a four-way then? Nintendo, Sega, Sony, and Microsoft? I wonder how things would have went if Nintendo and Sony actually did make a console together, because then we wouldn't have at least the PlayStation as we know it today. I wonder how things would have went if we lived in an alternate universe and that went through fruition. Sega and Microsoft both had the same idea that online was the future, so I don't think there would be room for four players, perhaps. Yeah, the Dreamcast, from what I've seen, was kind of ahead of its time. It was utilizing online play before everyone else was. Hello, 8 people. Yay, people are finally filing in. But yeah, it's just that it probably came a little too early because I think everyone had the luxury of having competent internet in their house at that time. So yeah, it had the right idea. It definitely saw where the future of gaming was going, but it just came around a little too early, I believe. That was the big drawback of that. Hey, Mike, how was Florida? Florida was cool. Florida was a lot of fun. I talked about it mostly in like the first 5 minutes of the stream, but it was a very different experience. I liked Florida. It's a place that I would love to visit again. Not a place I'm interested in living in though. I'm happy here in New York, but yeah, like I said, I would definitely visit Florida again if I get the chance to. I didn't really see any of the big tourist attraction places like Disney World or anything like that because fuck going in places with that many people in it. But yeah, why do I only see my own comments here? Where is everyone else's? Because you're the only person active in this chat in this dead fucking chat. GTA 5 ever releases on the Switch, it's probably gonna be the online because that's where most of the money comes from. I'm interested in getting GTA 5 for my PS5 because I haven't played it before. I know people are mad that it's getting like its billionth fucking re-release, but hey, it'll be a new experience for me. Who even knows if GTA 5 is ever gonna come to the Switch? I mean, I hope this doesn't age well, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever release on the Switch. Unless there's like rumors of it'll release that I haven't caught wind of, but I don't really care if it does or doesn't because at this point I am fine with playing on my PlayStation 5. There's really nothing on the Switch that entices me at this point. Well, that's kind of a lie. I'm interested in getting Skyward Sword this summer. I think it comes out in like what, July? Somewhere around there. But aside from that, I'm Switch. I mean, I don't have no plans on touching the Switch. I'm fine with my PlayStation 5 and my GameCube. Those are the two consoles that I play on predominantly these days. I brought my GameCube along with me during my Florida trip. I brought a fucking course, Resident Evil 4, and beat that again down there because I'm just obsessed with that game. I brought Resident Evil Remake and I brought Mario Kart Double Dash to play with my father. He didn't really like it though. He said it's too fast and too much shit to pay attention to on the screen, but we still had a fun time. GTA 5 Online is pretty much just a pay to win Saints Row ripoff. Well, I haven't heard too many good things about GTA Online. I don't know if I'll really touch it whenever I do get GTA 5. Again, I've heard plenty of horror stories surrounding it, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just kind of fuck around with it. But I don't know. I never really cared for online play that much. I mean, like the only exceptions are Mario Kart Online or Splatoon Online, but that's really because those are games that are more meant to be played with other people, or at least games where the online is the highlight. But if a game has like a story mode and the online isn't exactly the main attraction, I usually don't bother. I'm more of a single player type person. I mean, I used to like playing with other people when I was a kid. I used to love playing GameCube games with my father or my friends, but these days, I'm more of a solo gamer. I'm interested in seeing what console Nintendo will make after the Switch. It doesn't seem like Nintendo to do the Switch again, but more powerful. I don't know. Maybe Nintendo just sees that other companies are just pretty much releasing the same console, but just more powerful. So I don't know if they'll follow that trend. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. I've heard plenty rumors surrounding the Switch Pro. I don't even know if that thing is fucking real or not. I've heard Nintendo deny those rumors, but I hear those rumors still crop up. So maybe something like that is coming out. If a Switch Pro does come out, I don't even know if I'll get it. I mean, I feel like it would probably be a new 3DS type situation where, yes, there is a more powerful model out, but it's not exactly essential to get. It's only slightly more powerful, and it'll maybe get like, I don't know, three exclusives, and that's it. Because I love bringing this up because I was right the whole time. I was saying if you have a regular 3DS, there is no fucking point in getting the new 3DS. But people got really mad at me back then and said, no, the new 3DS is here to stay. It is something you should absolutely get if you have a regular 3DS. It's going to get these games for it, a whole bunch of exclusives for it, and it's more powerful. And I said, I don't want to fuck with the thing because I already have a regular 3DS. This thing isn't that much powerful. Yeah, sure, it has some cool new features, but nothing that entices me to get the fucking thing. It's not a whole new experience or anything. It's just a slightly more beefed up 3DS, but people didn't want to fucking hear it. They said, "No, this is Nintendo. This is essentially Nintendo's new handheld." And look at that shit. Look. Didn't amount to anything, and the 3DS brand is dead. No joke, they added a weapon that insta-kills anyone with the press of a button. Well, that doesn't sound very fun. 69, hell yeah. Sorry, I was looking at Discord for a second there. Hello, Bioweed. How are you doing today? It's been like 5 years since I've been to Florida. Well, this past uh this past week was my first time going to Florida. I won't repeat myself for those of you who have already heard the spiel. I'll only quickly say it was a fun experience. We'll definitely go again. Very different from New York, but I'm happy here in New York, so Florida's not a place I'll live in more than likely. Woohoo, 8 people here again. I feel like every time I acknowledge the amount of people here, it just drops back down to like 2 people watching this, so maybe I'll stop. I'm glad you had a good time there. Yeah, yeah, names. I had a really, really fun time there. I mean, I didn't do too much. Again, I didn't go to like Disney World or anything because we're kind of sort of in the middle of a pandemic and I'd rather not go to places like that. But I still had fun. The thing about Florida is I really shouldn't be surprised by this because it's fucking Florida, but hardly anyone wore a fucking mask down there. I believe the mask mandate isn't in effect down there anymore. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong there for anyone who lives down there, but I believe there is no mask mandate down there, so I have a lot of dipshits just wandering around barefaced. And it really made me uncomfortable because Florida is obviously COVID central. And again, you have a lot of dipshits living down there. I mean, look at all the Florida man stories that come out like every goddamn day. But Yeah, sorry for that snort there. I've been suffering with really bad allergies ever since I came back here. But, anyways, so that wasn't very fun. But again, I made the best of it. I still took every precaution. I wore a mask, wore gloves, even, and rubbed soap in my hands a lot. Used hand sanitizer a lot too while I was out. They never had a mask mandate. Yeah, fucking Florida. What about EDP 445? I heard he wants to make a comeback. I heard he's making a website or whatever. Someone shared that in my Discord server. Shameless plug time. If you want to join my Discord server, it's right down there. Anyway, but yeah, he's making a website or whatever. I don't know if I'll even make a video about that, but here are my brief thoughts. I don't know why the fuck he's even bothering. Well, I guess I do kind of know. The guy has like no shame at all. He was just like, "Hey guys, I'm making this website. I'm gonna piss on all the trolls and something like that." I mean, I watched someone else's video basically reacting to that, and just wow, like you get caught being a fucking creep to someone who you think is 13, saying all kinds of really disgusting shit to them, saying you're gonna eat them out, and ugh, but and you even shared a fucking picture of your turd in the toilet with them, and just flat out say, "Yeah, I know she was 13. I wanted to meet her for sex," to those guys that confronted you, but even despite all that, you just do not care. Like, Jesus. I know you probably don't give a rat's ass about Minecraft, but what's your opinion on the dream cheating scandal? I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm sorry. Cool, someone joined the Discord server. Don't be a douchebag, okay? That's my only plea. They got a dipshit as a governor? Yes, absolutely. Did you know that guy who caught EDP are actually bad people? Oh, yes, I'm well aware. They're racist. Possibly predators too themselves. There's some really yikesy clips circulating surrounding that. Yeah. EDP is a complete dip ass. I like that saying. I'm gonna steal that probably whenever I'm referring to someone who is not a good person. The decoy looked really fucking young. Well, I believe they did get someone that they used a girl or a woman, I should say, who was an adult, but they used like a face app to make it look younger, to make them look younger, I should say. That's at least that's what the girl in that one live stream where she's reading the chat log said. I believe that's how they did it, how they duped them. Sup, hello, King. How you doing? You going to Orlando this summer? That should be fun. Have fun. Florida's really nice. I didn't go to Orlando or Miami or anything. I went to Palm Beach. You joined the server, yeah, I saw. Yo, how the hell you some racist bitches expose EDP? Well, I mean, at least they did something good, right? Can't really give them too much credit because they're dipshits themselves, but hey, I mean, they took down a prominent YouTuber who was a predator, so I guess credit where credit is due. I'm glad they're off the fucking platform too because they're deplorable pieces of shit themselves. Or at least that one guy is the main guy. I believe the guy with the mask who was at the meetup with EDP. He has his own separate thing that's not exactly affiliated with the other guy, so I guess you can't really throw too much shit at him. But at least that main guy and everyone else who associates with that main guy, fuck them. Fuck them. A YouTuber named Dream altered the code to Minecraft to give himself better items in a speed run and threw a crybaby fit on Twitter once he got caught. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much opinion on that. I mean, I've heard of Dream because he trends on Twitter like every other fucking day. But yeah, I've never watched him. I don't pay attention to him, so I don't know any drama surrounding him. I'm sorry. Hello, Guitar Rocker. You're finally here. Finally here. Apparently, the police can't even arrest EDP because of how badly they handled the situation. Oh yeah, yeah, they really fucked that. They really fucked that sting operation up, especially with those stupid fact jokes that one guy, Alex Chet, whatever the fuck his name is, was making. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't really feel bad because EDP is a piece of shit, but when you're conducting a sting operation, you kind of want to conduct it in a more professional manner because police are going to take notice of how poorly you're handling the situation and how unprofessionally you're handling the situation. They're not really going to be interested in picking up this case because of how poorly it's handled. So you can't really make jokes like that during a situation as serious as, someone trying to meet up with a 13-year-old, or at least someone who they think is a 13-year-old for sex. You know me, I feel like all predators need death. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't care what happens to a predator, personally. I've heard the CC unit guy is cool, but Alex is a chode. Yeah, yeah. CC unit is the guy with the mask that was at that sting op, right? No second chances. Yep. Never heard of Dream. He sounds boring as fuck. Yeah, I don't watch Minecraft streamers, so it doesn't really capture my attention. Why he take a picture of his shit? EDP seems like a weird fucking guy, and this comes from someone who made a series of videos talking about porn. So I really shouldn't be talking about other people being weird online, but EDP has always kind of taken it to the extreme, like lengths even I wouldn't go to in those videos. Like, I don't know why it's such a shock to a lot of people that this guy is a fucking weirdo. Well, I don't know. Maybe that was kind of sort of common knowledge before all this came out, but I don't know. Like, he does seem like the type of person who would send a girl a picture of his shit while trying to, like, I don't know, capture her interest. You know, he's just the type of guy to do weird shit like that, so it doesn't really surprise me that much. Well, I hope he's never on YouTube again because, well, for one, his channel was terminated, and you kind of sort of can't go back on YouTube after you're terminated. Your very existence on this website is a violation at that point. So, if he tried making some sort of comeback, I'd imagine YouTube will just Thanos snap him out of existence again from the platform. But yeah, but also his reputation is just done for. I don't think he would even try to come back on YouTube. I mean, I know he's doing like this weird website thing now where he's going to upload content exclusively on this website, but in reality, who is going to fucking join that? Who's going to watch that? I know it'll probably capture the interest of a lot of people, like maybe the first week or so after it's launched, but after that, after all this EDP shit is said and done, who's gonna care? Who's gonna watch? What fan base does he have left? At first, when this first broke, before the stream of the chat logs came out and before the Stingop video came out, there were people saying, well, EDP is cool. EDP is funny. He's a legend. I can let this slide. And then we finally found out the severity of the situation. And of course, all that went out the window. So, yeah, but with that in mind, who is even going to watch him? Who's going to care? His website is going to be shut down very quickly. I hope so. That would be That would be nice. Virgin Minecrafter versus the Chad Terraria. I got 2 strikes over stupid shit, so my ass is moving my main channel to my second channel. I have a strike. Well, not a strike. I have a warning on this channel. I got it last July. It is never going away. Basically, a warning is YouTube giving. I'll let Charlie out in a minute after I explain this. YouTube giving you a slap on the wrist, saying, "Hey, don't do that again. Don't violate our terms of service again." They don't give you any penalty. They don't take away your ability to upload for a while. They don't take away your ability to stream. It's just, essentially what it is, a warning. And then after that, you get a strike. I just fucking wish the warning would expire, though. Like, maybe after a 6-month time period, that warning is removed from your channel, because every time I go in Creator Studio to check comments or do whatever, check statistics, things like that. I don't do that often. I mostly just go on there for comments, but every time I open Creator Studio now, it says, your channel has a warning. Check your active community guidelines, check or whatever the fuck. I hate seeing that. I hate being constantly reminded that I had a video pulled for such a bullshit reason. Ranting on teenagers is apparently hate speech. Even though you have fucking Nazis on this website that fester and attain large fan bases, that's fine. But ranting on teenagers, that's a no-no. But I've already vented all my frustration surrounding that, so I don't think you need to hear that again. Bottom line is, I really fucking wish YouTube would let the warnings expire, not have it be something that is forever a shit stain on your channel for the rest of time. But yeah, I'm sorry about your 3 strikes. I mean, I believe strikes expire at least, right? I'll let Charlie out now. He's meowing. You're free. Led Zeppelin shirt. Led Zeppelin is Pog. I just had to let that out there in case some of you didn't know that I thought that. Kind of reminds me of what happened to Pro Jared a couple of years ago. Well, that's different. I mean, EDP is an actual predator. Pro Jared just had a bunch of false allegations levied his way. Unless something else happened. I mean, I still think the dude is a creep. I mean, you really shouldn't have, like, a private Tumblr or whatever he was doing to exchange nudes with your fans, because that's kind of weird, And it's the internet. You can never be too sure of one's age, but as far as I know, everything he did didn't break any law, so I guess there's nothing really much I can say there. Again, I still think the dude's a fucking creep, but it's not the EDP situation. It's very, very different. This is the time for all the small channels to grow. Fuck these big channels. Yeah, well, I mean, oh well. I had aspirations of growing large someday. Well, not large, but maybe like, I don't know, 20,000 subscribers. I'm pretty comfortable with the fact that that's probably never gonna happen at this point. I've been doing this shit for nearly 7 years now, or at least have been uploading videos onto this channel for 7 years now. Technically, I've been doing YouTube for 10 years because I had a channel before this, but on this channel, I've been uploading for 7 years, and I still only have like 150 regular viewers, so whatever. I mean, it's really nothing I get upset over, at least not at this current point in time. I've been thinking, though, really thinking about monetizing my channel finally. I know I'll make shit money. A lot of my videos will probably be demonetized because I'm not censoring myself. I'm still going to be cursing every other fucking word. I'm not going to change my content at all. I'm not going to artificially stretch my videos out to hit 10 minutes to get mid-roll ads or anything like that, because fuck doing that. But Hey, if my videos can make some money, to bring some money my way, I mean, and give me some side money because I plan on getting a job this summer, why the fuck not? Like, you know? And no, do not think you have to feel obligated to turn on ads for my videos. I doubt anyone is even thinking that, but in case anyone is thinking that, do not feel guilty if you have ad block on and can't be fucked to watch ads while watching my videos. I understand. I use ad block too. I don't care. I'm also interested to see how, in the span of a few short years, some channels went from being right wing chuds to full blown leftists. This site is interesting. Well, usually, usually just evaluating your peers and seeing how a lot of the anti SJWs became like full on white nationalists or Nazis. You know, if you have the common sense to see that you're associating with like some really toxic and hateful people, you can pull. I think that's kind of sort of the case for a lot of people like Shoe on Head or other anti SJW YouTubers who are now. Well, she's not a leftist, but uh, YouTubers joining the left, things like that. You've been on YouTube for 10 years. Cool. Well, actually, I've been doing YouTube for 11 years. I started in 2010. Damn, how time flies. I'm really glad my old channel was terminated for copyright. A lot of embarrassing shit was put on there. I'd rather not have that be on the internet anymore. You're taking off ads on your shit. Fuck ads. Well, I agree. Fuck ads. But for those who are either for those who either don't know about ad blocks somehow and watch YouTube with the ads, my condolences, or people who are in the fringe minority and actually care about supporting YouTubers and watching ads on their videos. Maybe I'll have ads for those people, but again, I don't care if one, even if I don't even know if I will monetize my videos. This is just a thought in my head. But if I do monetize my videos, I don't give a fuck if anyone watches with ad block on. They're not obligated to turn off ads just to watch my fucking content. But yeah, I do hate ads. I never browse the internet without ad block. I even have ad block on my phone. About the ADP thing, I wouldn't make a joke about it anyway because it kind of sort of just happened. It's like making a joke about a school shooting right after it happened. I don't know. I found some EDP memes taking the piss out of the situation funny. It's kind of different from a school shooting. Two very different things there. But I understand if you're not comfortable making jokes about the situation. It's valid. Me personally, I don't care about taking the piss out of a predator though. Vine fucking sucks. Vine shut down like what, 5 years ago now? Something like that. I think you should put ads on your videos. I think you deserve it. Well, thank you. Thank you. Again, this is, of course, there are other factors too. I mean, I'm sure my videos would get demonetized like instantly. I'm not going to also be one of those YouTubers who withholds videos until they get approved for monetization. I really don't care because I'm probably gonna get a regular job this summer. I'm just thinking about doing enabling ads on my videos just as a side thing, just make some extra money on top of the job I might get this summer, you know? Because I feel like I'd probably make at least kind of sort of a decent amount of money. I know Social Blade isn't exactly the most reliable source for a YouTuber's income, but according to that, I could get like $70 a month. I don't know, assuming if that's accurate, I wouldn't be complaining about that. It's not like I live out on my own and have rent to pay or have mortgage to pay. I just think of it as money to like save up for like video games and shit like that. I don't have any like expenses to pay off or anything, so started off with 50 subs, made videos in 2012, deleted those, and came back in 2014. I see. Hey, I started in June of 2010 too. We're like brothers or siblings. I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Sorry. Well, your name is King, so I'm just kind of assuming whatever. Making an ass out of myself right now. Would you prefer having a subscriber count similar to the Archfiend? Yes. Actually, I feel like Archfiend and back when UTF was a thing, had perfect amount of subs, not too big, but not too small, but not too big either. You know, just kind of that happy middle, having a substantial amount of people watching their videos, but again, not a huge amount, not a tiny amount. I'm happy with what I have. I mean, I kind of came to terms with the fact that I'll probably always just retain the attention of like 150 to 200 people, which I shouldn't complain about that either. There are people on this website that can't even get one person to watch their videos, so I should just be thankful for what I have. But my ideal channel size is that just having like maybe like 40K and getting like a couple of thousand hits of video. Because again, it would be nice to have that many people watching your videos, and it wouldn't be again too tiny, too large, just something that I'm most comfortable with. Well, you did YouTube for 11 years. How old are you even? I'm 20. Uh, I first started uploading to YouTube when I was 9 years old. I wasn't doing the shit that I'm doing now, though. I didn't make rant videos. I just uploaded like really, really cringy like comedy skits, things like that, or just re-uploading Tom and Jerry episodes, which is what inevitably got my channel terminated. My first channel terminated. Holy shit! 2 days ago, some dip fuck threw a brick through my dad's car window. Jesus. I remember like 8 years ago, back when a Joe, an old man that used to live with us, that passed away back in 2012. He got robbed. He wasn't in the car. This happened when we were all sleeping, but someone actually threw a brick through his car window and stole some shit that was in his car. He didn't have anything like really valuable in there, but it was still a very scary experience for him because he was 80. You know, he could have been in that car. He could have been attacked, things like that. It really shook him for a while. Heard some crazy shit about Florida. Well, I've heard plenty crazy shit about Florida. Uh, I mean, again, just take a look at the Florida man stories that trend like every week. Been thinking of purging a lot of stuff on my channel because I want to change it, but it's good to remember where I came from. I don't know, should I do it? That's what I hate about certain YouTubers. They kind of sort of forget where they came from. You know, they kind of just it's really weird. It's I don't really have the right words, but when they get large, they kind of forget about the peers that they had when they were smaller and the people that helped get them to where they are now. You know, I'm sure that's simple enough. You can grasp that, but yeah, I've seen some YouTubers like that. I'm not gonna name names. I'd rather not, but some YouTubers I've seen are kind of like that, and I mean, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I don't even know the size of your channel, but it's really just on you. You know, that's your decision to make. I've removed some old videos of mine, but uh, if they're not too egregious, I usually just leave them up because I guess it's kind of fun to chronicle. Old videos I've made. Chronicle like states of mind that I had years ago that I obviously don't have now, but it's just interesting to look back and you know evaluate my thought process on something back then and compare it to how I am now. But if it's shit like defending the N word or things like that I've uploaded on this channel, yeah, that shit's gone. uh Rather not have that on this channel anymore. I mean, I'm sure there's still plenty of videos out there on this channel where I say the N word casually or say the F slur casually, and you got me. You have enough material to cancel me, I guess. But I have over 1,000 videos on this channel. I'm not gonna evaluate each and every single video and decide which is a video I want to leave up on this channel or not. You know, purge some stuff from my channel because there were live streams that revealed my face. Well, I'm not going to go into specifics here because I'm sure you'd rather not, but I understand why you did that. Your situation is a bit different, or at least your reasoning for doing that is a bit different. A few days ago, I was out walking and saw a guy wearing 5 masks, one on his throat, one on his chin, one over his mouth, and one over. Okay. I mean, I'm uncomfortable wearing one mask. Jesus. There was a gunfight in front of our house about a month ago, and a stray bullet came through our living. Jesus Christ! Holy shit! Glad you're okay. That must have been horrifying. I remember a few years ago, my uncle got freaked out because in the middle of the night, he thought he heard gunshots, but it was actually just a car backfiring. Hello, Tame. Welcome. It's always a pleasure having you in these streams. In America, is this riot thing still happening? It's kind of calmed down now, I think. Whenever the next minority is killed by the police, it'll surely go back in full swing again. Oh no, I don't have chud shit on my channel, thank God, because I was like that at the time. I have plenty of shit like that on this channel. A lot of it I've purged, but there's still quite a bit of it still up that I've, again, don't really care to purge because it's not too egregious. And the F slur is fine to me as a queer person, unless you're someone like Steven Crowder who uses it to villainize other queer people. Well, thing with me, I am a cishet. I don't feel comfortable using that word. I don't like hearing myself use that word in past videos. So, yeah. Not saying I'm gonna stop someone else from saying it, especially if they are a queer person themselves, because who the fuck am I to stop them from saying that when it's a word that targets them and not me? That would just be the equivalent of, I don't know, me explaining to a black person on why they shouldn't say the N word. Because that's kind of low key racist, you know? Essentially white splaining to a person about a word that targets them and not me. You know, I'm sure you get where I'm coming from. I'm sure you understand the uncomfortableness surrounding that I have. Thoughts on Obi Trice? Uh, I know he had like a few songs with Eminem, but I never heard of his stuff. I never heard any of his stuff. No. Would you ever attempt a no damage run on any game? I've tried that with Resident Evil 4. I feel like I consider myself bad at any game I play, but Resident Evil 4 is really the closest to me being good at a game. And that's really because, you know, every game I play, I've replayed the game like 8 times now, maybe even 9. I don't even know, but you know, I've played it so many times where I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know how to kill enemies quickly, you know, certain enemies quickly, and I play New Game Plus every single time, so I have all my fully upgraded weapons from the very beginning, so I can just plow through the game. But there is one downfall I have, and that is Ashley. She ends up getting grabbed by an enemy. I shoot the enemy, and I accidentally shoot her, or she just gets in the middle of the crossfire and she gets hit by an enemy and dies. Like, I just plow through the game, but then I get to the part where I have to protect her, and I'm like, oh no. Ugh. I'm getting better though. I'm getting better at protecting her. I think she only died once my latest playthrough. So yeah. I'm gonna replay the game on my PS5 eventually. I don't know if I'll stick to just playing the game on the PS5 though, because really the only reason I got the game for my PS5 is because of Separate Ways. Uh, if the GameCube version had Separate Ways, I probably wouldn't even bother with getting it on the PS5, but alas, the GameCube does not. So that's really the only reason I'm going to play the game on my PS5. And if I still prefer playing the game on a GameCube controller when it comes to playing the main game, I'm just going to play it on the GameCube. Florida passed a bill to allow drivers to run over protesters. Yes, I watched a Secular Talk, Kyle Klinsky video. I don't know if he made a video about that, but he made a video basically talking about a bill where the GOP is trying to essentially outlaw protests, and he did mention the bill that pretty much allows people in Florida to run over protesters, and talked about how that's obviously just a huge infringement on the First Amendment. Like, it's funny. The right wing is always like, we're the side of freedom and free speech, but when you want to protest racism, kill them, silence them, don't let them have the right to protest. All that shit just goes right out the fucking window. Saying the N-word on Twitter, that's free speech. We got to protect anyone who does that. But protesting systemic racism, no, that's evil. Remember about a year ago, I woke up to the sound of a machine gun fire, and about 2 months ago, I woke up to the sound of pistol shots going off. Jesus Christ! What area do you live in? Yeah, I totally get it. It's better to just not say it to make sure you don't make other people uncomfortable, at least for you anyway. Yeah, that's essentially why I don't say it. Well, for one, yeah, I mean, I'm cishet. I don't think it's appropriate at all for me to say it, but also because I don't want to make other people uncomfortable, you know, people who might be more sensitive to words like that. That's why I still, you know, prohibit people from saying certain words on my Discord server, because it's a public server with 100+ people. And chances are there may be at least a few people who don't like seeing the N word or the F slur or the R slur or anything like that thrown around. You know, where do you guys live where people have machine guns and are just yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. Talking about RE4 again, nice. I don't know if that's sarcasm because you're probably so tired of me talking about RE4 at this point, but if you genuinely like it when I talk about RE4, cool, because I can talk about that game for like 5 hours or some shit. I still need to play Resident Evil 4. Oh god, Guitar Rocker, you need to. You need to. Hell, I'd watch a live stream of you playing it because it would be cool seeing someone play it with fresh eyes, but you're missing out. I love that game so much. Oh god, I'm so looking forward to Resident Evil Village too. That's coming out in a few days. I'm not gonna get it the day it releases. I'm still in the middle of playing Doom Eternal, and I have some other games on my PS5 that I want to play first. Uh, what was the game that I got recently? Some a Discord buddy told me was for free, and I nabbed that shit while I still could. Horizon Zero Dawn. Yes, I'm gonna play that after I finish Doom Eternal, and then I'm gonna play Village. I'm probably gonna order Village online and have it mailed to me. I'd like to own that game physically. It'll be the first PS5 game I'll own physically, or really the first PS5 game I'll own at all, because everything else I've played so far on the PS5 are last gen games. Doom Eternal, Last of Us, Resident Evil 7. I have Resident Evil 4 downloaded on my PS5, and that's from fucking 2005. Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah. It's about time I get, a game that is actually a PS5 game. Never played Resident Evil yet, but I'd love to. You need to get on that shit right away. It's almost like the far right doesn't give a fuck about black people getting shot. Exactly. Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, Guitar Rocker. How does the PS5 controller feel? Oh, I love it. Love it a lot. This thing is comfortable as fuck. It took a little bit for me to get used to because I've never played on a PlayStation controller, or at least haven't played on one recently at all. I think before owning a PS5, the last time I've held a PlayStation controller in my hand was a PS2 controller when my father owned a PS2 when I was like 5 years old. But yeah, I mean, some stuff I still need to get used to, like certain buttons, and whenever the game prompts you to press a certain button, I kind of have to look at my controller to see which button it is, because again, I'm not used to the PlayStation controller's layout. I'm not used to having just, these symbols as buttons. I'm used to like A, B, Y, X, whatever the fuck Nintendo also has on their controllers, So I kind of have to get used to the button scheme on this thing, but I'm making progress, and this is a great controller. I hope more games utilize all the really cool features that this controller has. The DualSense, I mean, if you want me to use the official name for this controller. When I played Astro's Playroom, it was really cool. Like all the features this controller has. Like if you press down on this when you're doing certain things, there's resistance to give it that realistic feel. It's really fucking cool. You live in Minneapolis, close to where George Floyd was killed. Ah, yeah, yeah. That's probably why you've been hearing all that shit. Conservatives are more outspoken about their nonsense, while liberals pretend to care yet support bad systems. Pretty much. Bisexual really can care less if someone, regardless of sexuality, says it. Do I have a problem? Because strangely, I find the sound of distant gunfire calming. I guess if you're that used to it. But yeah, about your last message before that one, yeah, feelings are valid. I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not gonna argue like whether or not you should say the F slur, because I'm not a queer person and you are. Would you watch a live stream of me doing a no damage professional run on RE4? Sure, sure. I wish you the best of luck. I don't know if I have the skills to do that. Again, I consider myself good at the game, but not that good. I'm still prone to fucking up. I really do want to do a no damage run of RE4, not on professional mode, not a speed run or anything like that, but still just a playthrough of the game where I don't get killed at all. You know, most of the times where I die, it's just stupid mistakes. I already achieved my goal of having a single digit amount of deaths throughout a playthrough. I used to always have like 10 plus of them, but now I can have like 4 deaths in the game. I think my best was just having 2 deaths in the game. You know, I'm getting better. I'm getting there. Each playthrough, I gradually get better. But oh my god, that Krauser quick time event, you know, the one where, you know, Leon and Krauser first run into each other and they're having that knife fight and you have to keep pressing the correct combination of buttons. That always fucks me up. I think only one time I first tried that, but all the other times I've died like at minimum, like, I don't know, at minimum, I think I died once in one playthrough, but usually I die like 3 times during that whole fucking sequence, and it's so annoying because if you die, you gotta watch all that again, press the button combos again, hope you don't fuck up along the way. Ugh, least favorite part of the game. Is it better than the piece of shit DualShock PS4 controller that breaks if you drop it once? I'm sure because I've already dropped this thing quite a few times and it works fine. It's getting so musty in here. It's May. We should really bring out the fans now because the weather's getting warmer. I think I have a tower fan in my closet, but I don't know where to put it because I used to put it where the PS5 is now. Probably in the corner over there. I don't know. Still have yet to have one on hand, but honestly, the Switch Pro controller is starting to become one of my favorites. Yes, I really do love that controller. It is the controller I play every Switch game on. I used to play with the Joy Cons, you know, the thing where you can put the Joy Cons into it and it becomes kind of like a normal controller. I played with that the first few months I had the Switch, but then I got the Pro controller for my birthday and I never ever used the Joy Cons ever since. Well, that's a lie. I mean, very, very rarely I've undocked the Switch and played it in handheld, but um, I don't undock my Switch like hardly at all. I just play it on the TV and use the Pro controller. I think that is the best way to play a Switch game because that controller is really, really good. Switch controller reminds me a lot of the Xbox controller, which is one of my favorites. Yeah, I remember a lot of people comparing the Wii U's Pro controller to the Xbox controller, and I can see why. I mean, it's almost a carbon copy of it, I think. Yeah, that Krauser QTE sequence can really fuck you up. Yep. Always dread it whenever I'm around that point of the game. And right before that point of the game is that sequence where Ashley's driving the truck and you got to be on the back of the truck shooting enemies off of it. I both love and hate that part of the game because, for one, it's cool. I mean, you're on the back of a truck shooting a shitload of enemies trying to jump on it, and you know it's fun. But then you get to that part where you got to get off the truck, pull that lever on top, and focus on the enemies that are right there trying to kill you, and then focus on the enemies that are down at the truck trying to get to Ashley. Oh my god. So many times I failed at that. Sometimes I do well, sometimes I first try that, but other times many screams have been are had. GameCube controllers are based. Oh yeah, definitely. GameCube controller is definitely one of my favorite controllers ever. But it was so weird though. um Being in Florida playing on my GameCube because I was so used to holding a PlayStation controller in my hand that holding a GameCube controller in my hand was just felt very, very weird, but I got used to it very quickly. I adjusted. You do not want to be in Florida during the summer then. Yeah, my uncle told me Florida can get really brutal in the summer. That's another reason why I don't want to live down there or visit there during the summer. Because he told me the weather is nice, but in summer, you don't even want to go outside, he said. But no, where I stayed was very nice. My grandmother and my uncle and aunt live in this old people's community. Well, not exactly an old people's community, a 55 and over community. It wasn't like a building or anything. It was just a community of little houses, and it was very nice. Very, very nice. I took some pictures of the area that came out nice. I took a lot of pictures on the plane ride back home because I got the window seat and honestly very happy about how those pictures came out. Some of them actually look like professional shots. I might share some of those in my Discord server for those of you who are in it. But some of those came out very, very nice. There's my uncle talking to his Alexa in the room next to me. I don't know if you heard that. He can probably hear everything I'm saying. And I usually don't curse around him, so he's hearing every curse word I say. Yeah, there's no cursing in this house aside from when I'm playing a video game or doing a video or a stream. I'm about to beat 3D World for the first time. Wish me luck. Yeah, good luck because that special world you unlock when you beat every single level, every single level in the regular worlds in the game is brutal as fuck. But I 100% did the game when I was 13 and felt so accomplished after I did that. GameCube controllers feel nice, but sometimes the buttons threw me off because of where they were placed. That actually happened to me when I first played my GameCube after I was so used to playing on the PlayStation controller. Because sometimes I'd press a button thinking it was somewhere else. And, it kind of fucked me up. Again, I adjusted really quickly. It wasn't anything that was too big of a deal, but, I do have some gripes with the GameCube controller, like, same gripe that most people have, the little C stick here. And maybe they should have had another button here, like where the Z button is, but on the other side. But all in all, it's a controller that I really, really love. Oh, yeah, and also the D-pad, I mean, it's kind of trash, not gonna lie. But, not a lot of games really utilize this, so it's not bad. Not that much of a problem. I plan on doing no damage runs on almost every game that I play, no cap. Holy shit. Well, good luck. Good luck. There's my uncle and cousin talking to each other. Oh, yeah, my cousin's visiting. She's going to be here for a few months. I have no clue who Block McCloud is. Anyone know the Resident Evil lore? I played the games, and I still don't know anything except for umbrellas or some shit. Well, I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't know. I'm not one to really pay attention to story when I'm playing video games. Is it me or are the movies coming out of Hollywood lately feel repetitive and not that interesting? Well, too many remakes and movies based on like books or comics and shit are coming out, and also sequel movies, and I just want something fucking original from Hollywood for once. And also, anyone else really tired of CGI animated movies? I kind of wish, a Hollywood animated movie would come out in 2D for once. Not saying, CGI needs to go away or anything, but I kind of wish we had a healthy mix of both, you know? Because it feels like every children's movie looks the fucking same these days. It was over 110 degrees last summer I'm at. I think the worst it's ever gotten in my lifetime here in NYC was like 105. And that was like 10 years ago. Weather out here in California can get ridiculous too. It can get up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Alabama's very brutal in the summer. I don't doubt that either. Recently playing Hitman Blood Bunny. I was gonna go through the game that came out after Absolution, but I ended up dropping it. I see. That's capitalist Hollywood for you. Yup. The last thing I genuinely enjoyed in the last couple of years was Kevin Hart's movie The Upside. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. Oh yeah, for those of you who weren't in the stream earlier, because there were only like two people watching for like the first 10 minutes of the stream, I am so happy that Discord will finally be on the PlayStation. Well, it's not going to be on the PlayStation until early next year, but still, the fact that it is coming to PlayStation, I am so happy about. Holy fuck. I've watched very few movies lately. Same. I'm more of a TV show person. Me and my dad during this week were talking about that. He prefers movies over TV shows because he says too many TV shows go on for too long. But most of the shows I watch are like 4 to 5 seasons long, and they don't really overstay their welcome. So I don't think it's as huge of an issue as he makes it out to be. But whatever, that was just his reasoning for preferring movies over TV shows. But personally, I like, watching multiple episodes of something and keeping up with characters for more than just, a 2 hour movie. I like the bigger investment a TV show, requires you to have. Someone else joined Discord. Welcome, Red, Guilty. Don't be a douchebag. Shameless plug. My Discord server is in the description for anyone who wants to join it. Yeah, whatever. I'm done with the shameless plugs. No, I'm not. Also, my PSN is down in the description too for anyone who has a PlayStation wants to add me. Okay, now I'm done for real. It was 99 degrees where you're at the other day. Damn. Completed a no damage, 100% run on GTA 3 once, and holy shit, the final mission was such a Herculean task to try and beat. I'd imagine. I don't even know if I want to like subject myself to that. There was a TV show called Imposters, which I thought was really well written and nice to watch. I think I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it. It's also really, really nice watching Netflix and HBO and all the other streaming services we have on my PlayStation now because my uncle loves to stay in the living room until like 11:30, nearly 12 in the morning, watching shit like Three's Company or Gilligan's Island, which, at least in Three's Company's case, I won't really shit on it because there's some episodes of that show that I find funny. But Gilligan's Island, Fucking hate it. I don't find it funny at all. I'm not really a fan of shows from that era. I know Zoomer moment, but it's the truth. And the fact that he can watch that shit like all day. He's watched those shows for like 8 years straight and he still has not gotten tired of it at all. I don't know how one could watch the same shows over and over again, but that's just how he is. But the fact that he hogs the TV in the living room for like practically all day watching the shows that he's watched like million times at this point just really pisses me off. But it's not an issue because now I can just watch TV shows that I want to watch here in my room with my PlayStation, so now I don't have to care. Have you ever felt stupid explaining something that should be very obvious to someone? Oh, yeah, all the time. Sometimes I just have trouble wording things correctly or using the right words to explain something because I'm really bad at explaining things to people. It could be like the most obvious, simple shit, and I would have trouble explaining it to a person, and then I just make an ass of myself. Yeah. And, not to mention I'm a very self conscious person and have really bad anxiety. So it just further adds to the, feeling of, I guess, worthlessness or embarrassment that I feel during that. My mom has been watching Alfred Hitchcock movies recently, but at least those are interesting since he was a good writer. I'm interested in watching some Hitchcock movies one of these days. I don't know if any of the streaming services have them. Yeah, some do. Some do. Would you ever play Spider-Man PS4? I've heard a lot of good things about it, so sure. Same with the Spider-Man game that came out recently, Miles Morales, or yeah, whatever it's called. Jesus, my throat is really hurting. It's always really hard doing these streams because my voice is just not used to talking for this length of time. Gotta go take a shower. I'll be back in a few days. Okay. Have a nice shower. I just saw a tweet that made me laugh. How it started, how it's going. How it started, Microsoft's $10 billion bid to buy Discord to close as early as next month. How it's going, announcing PlayStation's new partnership with Discord. What a rainy few days that will be. Going to Puerto Rico this Saturday. Well, have fun. Have a nice time. That should be good. Here's a prank you could do in public: super glue a coin to the sidewalk and watch people try to pick it up. That sounds funny. Might go to UTF's home state one day to visit family. UTF disappeared off the face of the earth. Dude had his douchey moments, but he was cool to talk to. I know, like, most people I know hate him now, but eh. K-Band, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah, that's a classic. Or there's a more modern day equivalent of that. I don't use Spotify. Unfriended. Kind of done with him now, but I still give him credence for at least bringing me to the place I am in now. Yeah, he definitely had an influence on the formulation of certain worldviews that I have now. Never take that away. And I mean, regardless of how you think about him, he had some really entertaining content back in the day, you know? And hey, he was an influence on me. I wouldn't be doing the stream right now if it weren't for him, probably. And his fan base is actually really cool. You know, I befriended quite a few people who are fans of him, and I still talk to them. And Jesus, allergies is really kicking my ass. The roof of my mouth is really itchy. I do this to kind of alleviate some of that itchiness. You know, just move my tongue back and forth, have it touch the roof of my mouth, essentially scratching it. And I hate doing that in public because sometimes people are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I have to explain to them that's just something that happens with when I get allergies. And of course, eye itchiness, stuffy nose. Oh, ever since I came back from Florida, I've been really getting my ass kicked by allergies. I need to take some medication for that. I strongly recommend Claritin and Linguals for allergies. Yeah, I take Claritin some years. Some years it doesn't work, but it's usually the first medication I take. Florida's a nice place, but the anti-maskers and COVID deniers are insufferable. Oh, absolutely. That's another big deterrent for me ever wanting to live in Florida. You know, just all the dipshits that fester down there. I feel bad for the normal people that live there, you know? Southern California has its fair share of stupid anti-maskers and vaxxers here too. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty aware that parts of California are very, very stupid too. Very, very conservative. The only good thing to come out of Florida is critical. Oh, is he really from Florida? I didn't know that. I should get back into watching him. I was really binging his videos some months ago, and then it just kind of fell off for some inexplicable reason. You know that anti-vaxxers are white supremacist religious right wingers? Yes, I do. There's quite a bit of overlap when it comes to the anti-vaxxers and COVID deniers and COVID vaccine conspiracy theorists and things like that. I have my mom is friends with this other mother who had a son that I went to elementary and middle school with. I don't really keep in touch with the kid. He's kind of quiet and awkward, so I don't really talk to him. Not saying that I wouldn't talk to anyone who's quiet. I mean, I'm quiet and awkward myself, but he's not really an outgoing kid, so we don't really talk that much. But my mother and his mother are like best of friends ever since me and him were in elementary school. And this past year, she has been extremely careful with COVID. She wouldn't go anywhere that was crowded, and you know, very, very cautious when it came to COVID. And she would always scold her family about, not caring about COVID because a lot of her family are stupid fucking COVID deniers and anti vaxxers and things like that. And she was really the only one out of everyone in her family that was careful when it came to COVID. But now that the vaccine is out, she's like, I don't want to get it. I don't know what's in it. I mean, they could put a microchip in us for all we know. What a fucking juxtaposition. Like, you were so careful about the virus. You believed in the virus. You were so careful about not getting the virus. And now you're like, oh, the vaccine for the virus is out. I don't want it. There could be microchips inside of it. I don't know. That's like a huge contradiction to me. Saw graffiti on the side of a building that said Pfizer vaccine kills and 5G. I got the Pfizer vaccine the Saturday before I went to Florida. I had arm pain for like a day and a half, and that was the worst of it. I didn't get any other effects from the vaccine or anything like that. Again, aside from the arm pain, it was just smooth sailing because I never had COVID. I don't have any other pre-existing health conditions or anything like that. So yeah, I know the second vaccine is the stronger one, but everyone that I live with had no reaction to it whatsoever, and I hope I'm the same. I fucking hate how cop bootlickers make up more than half of the population of where I live. I'd imagine it must be hell to live where you live. Because I live here in NYC, and there's not really a whole lot of that. I mean, I live in a more Trump-friendly area than compared to a lot of NYC, but still, they're more like quiet supporters of him because they know they live in NYC. They can't be that like blatant about their support for Trump or you know things like that. So they just kind of keep it more on the down low. But places in like a red state, especially a red county in a red state, must be hell if you're on the left. My grandma said she isn't getting the vaccine because there's too much stuff in it. I like that. Too much stuff. What stuff? I don't know. There's just too much stuff. Not sure if these conservatives are as crazy as the people who stormed the Capitol, then it could go bad. But I will say that Newsom is a hypocrite after getting caught with his other politicians that get vaccinated, but it'd have to be a secret from my parents. Oh, yeah. Well, get vaccinated. Like, at all costs, get vaccinated. Even if you have to keep it on the down low from your parents, do whatever it takes to just not make yourself immune from the virus because, of course, the vaccine can't do that. It's not a cure or makes you immune to it, but any measure you can take to lower your risk of getting the virus, absolutely go for it. That's just what I don't understand about a lot of right wingers in this virus. Like they say, all this shit is tyranny. The mask wearing is tyranny. They're gonna put microchips in us with the vaccine. Like you're always screeching about going back to normalcy when you people are the ones that are actually holding us back from going back to normalcy because you refuse to take all the precautions necessary in order to actually allow us to go back to some semblance of normalcy, you know? But whatever. I'm not gonna harp on too much about that because I might as well be just talking to a wall. I mean, everyone here agrees with me, and if I were to talk to a conservative about that, they'd just be like, "No, I don't want microchips. You're a sheep. You're a dumbass liberal." All right. I was in a store recently where there were a bunch of Trump 2024 flags, Blue Lives Matter flags, slash shirts, Confederate flags, and other bootlicker shirts. You wanna know what I came across recently? My friend was dating a girl whose mother has this little website up where she like knits blankets or whatever. She knits a whole bunch of other things, but primarily blankets. And it was like really nice, wholesome shit. I was thinking of maybe picking something up for myself because my friend, when he was still dating this girl, bought something from her mother's website. But then I come across a Blue Lives Matter blanket that she knitted, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, this went downhill so quickly. No. Also, my dad keeps saying that if California mandates vaccine, no one is saying that, then we're moving to Texas. Only conservatives would wave a flag of the losers of the Civil War. Exactly. Exactly. They talk about having so much pride in the South and they fly their Confederate flags. Like, cool, you're very proud of being a loser. Like, you also gotta love the conservatives who are like, we're on the side that freed the slaves because Republicans freed the slaves. We never switched parties. And then you start asking them, okay, why do you fly Confederate flags and say things like the South will rise again and have all this patriotism when it comes to the Confederacy? And then they're just like, uh, because obviously the Confederacy was the side that wanted to preserve slavery. They wanted to secede from the Union because they wanted to keep their slaves. Just get crickets from them after you question them on that. This is something that I've been kind of thinking about recently, but is flying a Confederate flag comparable to, like, say, flying a flag with a swastika on it? That's just something I've been kind of pondering. I just want to know what other people think. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily on the same level, but they're both, like, very popular symbols of hate, which is worse, Reddit or Twitter. Well, I mean, Twitter, it's a lot harder to escape the stupidity. And Reddit, you can just kind of choose what communities to focus on, which in my case, I mostly focus on like music or TV show communities so those obviously don't get very toxic. I mean, there are exceptions. Some subreddits, some music subreddits I'm in have really snobby people in it, but again, that's not really that bad, and it's hard and it's easier to avoid those kind of people compared to Twitter. So I'd say probably Twitter is worse. Yes, I do follow political subreddits, but I don't look at those all too much. Really, the political subreddits I mostly pay attention to are like meme subreddits because some of that has some really funny shit in it. If I bought a Confederate flag, I would burn it. I wouldn't even buy it. If I just saw a Confederate flag, I'd burn it because I'd rather not give anyone who is selling a Confederate flag my money. Problem with Reddit is a lot of subreddit mods are like Meverse admins, overly strict and banning people for no reason. Well, at least getting banned from the subreddit doesn't mean you're banned from Reddit entirely, which Meverse case, get banned on Meverse, that's just another step towards a permanent ban from the site in general. I'm thinking of making a video compiling a lot of the stupid shit I've posted on Meverse throughout the years and just, mocking it, kind of sort of in the same vein a little bit as like, say, Giga Gambi's old Meverse videos. Except, I'm doing something like Giga Gambi and all those other people who made bad Meverse post videos wouldn't have the balls to do. Make fun of myself. I'm breaking new ground. One person got banned and was sent an emoticon of a cock, and he didn't do anything. That is weird. My parents have Trump merchandise, but I don't fuck with it because it isn't worth all the arguing. Yeah, I mean, spare yourself from the headache. I would do the same. I do that whenever my uncle from Jersey comes down here. He's a huge Trumper, and he likes to bring that up sometimes, and I just don't bother. I don't. It's not worth the headache. Thankfully, my parents loathe Trump just as much as I do. Yeah, my parents both hate Trump a lot. Well, my mom is just a milquetoast lib, but my father is actually pretty based. I don't know if you could really call him a leftist. He's more of a soak dem, but he is pretty open to like leftist positions and things like that. He just thinks social democracy is the most viable, or at least the most realistic thing we should inch towards in this country. That's just his view. I mean, I guess he can say he's a leftist at heart, but when it comes to like something that he sees as most realistic, he prefers to like advocate for like social democracy in this country. You stay out of politics usually, well, probably better for your mental health. You wish your parents are more left like that? Yeah, I guess I'm lucky. I guess I'm lucky for at least having one parent that's based. Like my mom, she is still on that gateway drug bullshit with weed. She got so mad when New York legalized weed. She was saying, "Oh, it's a gateway drug, all this shit." Meanwhile, my father was happy, and we're talking about it on the phone like a month ago or whenever New York first legalized weed, and we're talking about mass incarceration when it comes to petty offenses like drug possession or even especially weed possession. He's like in a different stratosphere compared to my mother. Not to mention we smoked some when we were in Florida, but that's between just you, all of you and me. I just don't understand how the more right-leaning people in my family don't see Trump worship as a cult because they're within the cult. Like a cult isn't going to call themselves a cult. Politics is bad for your mental health. I'm inclined to agree. Too much negativity, but at the same time, I don't want to uh distance myself from like important world events and what's going on in the world because that's stuff that I'd rather want to be in tune with. Smoked a bit of weed and it's nice. Was it enough to get you high or did you just smoke a little bit? I forget. More on the anarchistic side, so I prefer direct action over relying on politicians and political parties, but that's just me. Well, I understand the sentiment. Obviously, I called myself an ANCOM last year, but I would say that's more where I lean to now, still to this day, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of like political labels because, especially on the left, there's so many of that, and there's so many different ideas that I don't know if I just want to ascribe myself to one ideology. I read a lot of like theory from different points of view, and I find myself agreeing with a lot. Obviously, not with like tanky shit or authoritarian leftist shit, but you know, I just like calling myself a leftist. Certain people would find that so cringeworthy, but I guess I'm still in the middle of finding out what I'm exactly am. Again, I like the idea of anarchism. I like the idea of so many other things, so I don't exactly know what I am for certain. Hello, Leo. Hello. How you doing today? Feel like Texas will never legalize weed, unfortunately. I don't know too much about the politics of Texas, but there are quite a few states in this country that I never see legalizing weed because they're just so staunchly conservative and drink that not even exactly drink the gateway drug Kool-Aid. I'm sure a lot of Republican politicians know that's bullshit, but they just use that as an excuse to lock up minorities. My dad was all like, "You think I'm part of some cult for by supporting Trump?" Yeah, you are. You kind of are at this point. I know there were some people who jumped the Trump bandwagon in 2016 that have since jumped off. Good for them, but I think at this point, if you still hardcore support Trump, ooh, I don't know what to tell you. I think you drank too much Kool-Aid, and I definitely think you're part of a cult, whether you like to think you are or not, which Again, usually when one is part of a cult, they don't like outright say, "Yeah, I'm in a cult." So I'm more on the democratic socialist type, which is cringe to some, but I don't care. Well, to just be who you want to be. Fuck what other people think. If they have that much of a problem with your political ideology, fuck them. They're not worth keeping. They're not worth keeping around in your life. Figure out who you are and fuck what other people have to say about it. Like I'm not like other people who would be like, I'm part of that. I believe in this ideology. No, I believe in that ideology. I believe in this ideology. Like every fucking week. I'm just kind of in the middle of discovering who I am. I'm not like what some people like to put it as ideology shopping or anything like that. I'm a libertarian socialist, and I would also consider myself more of an anarcho communist since anarchism kind of fits my personality in a way. It fits my personality too. I've always been kind of a more non-conformist type of person. I hate following what other people have to say. I hate being like other people. I would say biggest example that would probably be, I guess, my hair. I'm always told by especially my mother that I look horrible. I should look like other people. Look at all the hairstyles that other people have. Why don't you want that? And I simply tell her I don't want to be like other people. This probably sounds like edgelord teenager shit. Oh, I'm not like the other people. I'm edgy and cool, but that's kind of always how I've been. I never aspired to be another person. I don't want to be like other people. I just kind of want to be myself. I hate the idea of conforming to what society wants you to conform to. I like individualism, things like that, and I think it kind of ties into my interest in anarchism a bit. I have a lot of left leaning beliefs and some right leaning ones. So I don't know where the hell I am. Oh boy, what are some of your right leaning beliefs? I don't know if I want to know, but I guess you can consider yourself a centrist. Rather not might start a turf war. Well, that's kind of sus, but okay. I have a headache. I'm probably gonna stop this stream in like 10 minutes or something like that. My throat hurts. My head hurts. But it's nice talking to all of you again. These streams are always very fun. I always love interacting with the chat. Maybe in the near future I'll do some gaming streams, like especially when I start like Resident Evil 4. Maybe I'll stream some of that. You can all watch me fail at Resident Evil 4, because it'll be the first time since my very first playthrough of the game where I'm like starting from scratch again. Like I mentioned earlier, I played through the game like nearly 10 times at this point on my GameCube. I think maybe my PS5 playthrough will actually be my 10th time playing through the game, but it'll be the first time since my first playthrough where I don't have any of my weapons that I usually use. They're all not upgraded. I just start with the handgun. I have to buy all the weapons again, buy upgrades. So, yeah, I'm sure I'll fail a lot there because I'm used to just cruising through the game with the weapons I usually use fully upgraded and having a shitload of healing too. I'm glad my family doesn't support Trump, but they constantly joke about Trump. Well, I don't really see much harm there. Anyone else remember the Nick Worldwide Day of Play shit? Yes, I do. I remember that. I used to really get pissed off at that. Nickelodeon would be like off the air for, I don't know, a few hours, something like that. And it would be this message that loops saying, go outside, go play, don't stay in front of the TV or something like that. I didn't listen to that. You want to know what I did? I just changed the channel to Cartoon Network. I just prefer Cartoon Network over Nickelodeon anyway. I'm sure Cartoon Network really appreciated the ratings boost they got on those days. I rely on electoralism for harm reduction, but I also think direct action is very important and probably even more important given it was very effective against Derek Chauvin. I usually value direct action over electoralism myself. I don't even know if I'll partake in like midterms or even just general elections after this past year because I live in NYC. I thought a burp was coming. I'm sorry, but I live in NYC. New York is a Democratic stronghold. My vote won't change shit. If you live in a swing state, of course, that's different. Go out and vote, but I'm voting blue. The majority of my state votes blue. New York will probably never go red. There's no threat of New York ever becoming red. So I don't really think my vote matters. So I don't really see much point in me voting over here. And plus, I don't support Biden. I don't like politicians. I don't like, again, I don't like Biden. So I don't see much point in me personally voting. But again, if you live in a swing state, go out and vote. Your vote actually matters there. But if you live in such a blue stronghold like New York City or just New York in general, I don't see too much point. And maybe vote blue if you live in a red state, but that doesn't really do much, does it? Fuck that. It's Cartoon Network time. Go play E. Yeah, exactly. Did you take Mario Kart Double Dash from Florida and bring it to your house? Of course, I wasn't going to leave it there. So well, no, I waited. I missed a message. Sorry. Right? Like people will just find another channel to watch. The idea itself is good, but the way they do it is terrible. Exactly. They shouldn't even just bother with that go outside and play shit. You're a cartoon channel. Like, your very existence detracts kids from playing outside. I'm sorry. This last election was trash. The only options were two old white politicians who don't care about the working class or minorities. Exactly. Although I will say that Biden is objectively, at least marginally, better than Trump. You can't argue that. That's why I say vote blue, because I don't want fascism to be. I don't want a president that seems to be okay with spreading fascism within this country. That's what I mean. Because Trump being in the White House emboldens those kind of people. And of course, we've seen an uptick in political violence from the right ever since Trump's inauguration into the office. So I'd rather have less of that in this country because it's easier to partake in direct action when you don't have a fascist in the White House. My home state of Texas has always been a red stronghold, so voting blue is really hopeless. Yeah. Again, I really do feel bad for people who are at the very least left leaning in red states, especially red counties within red states. That's a double whammy. One belief that I have that could be considered more right leaning is that I'm heavily pro gun with very few exceptions on what people should be able to own. Well, that's a very left leaning position too. Like aside from like milk toast liberals, I don't see anyone on the left like saying gun ownership should be like banned or anything. Quite the opposite. Yeah, Texas is inching and inching closer to blue, but I'm not a very reliable person when it comes to like accurately saying when it will actually flip blue, if it ever will. Oh god, imagine if Texas actually did go blue. Holy shit. I have a friend who is an ANCOM who believes in firearms for the working class. Yes, yes. You'd be hard pressed to find an anarchist who's opposed to gun ownership. I still think, regardless of it being one vote, that voting matters, and GOP governors are starting to see that every vote matters. I know, I know. I'm probably pessimistic when I say voting blue in a red state is like pissing into the wind, but I, I guess if you still want to vote, it would have been so glorious if Texas actually went blue last year. Oh my god, the Trumper meltdown would have been glorious. Glorious. See David Bowie over there in the Pink Floyd You see all my posters. Why am I even pointing it out? David Bowie is pretty pog if you didn't know that I thought that already. Most Americans believe in gun control, which is unfortunate, or support, I should say. I guess I can't really blame people for feeling that gun control is a viable option when we have as many mass shootings as we do in this country, because this country does not give a fuck at all about mental health or anything like that, you know? So, fuck, my uncle and cousin are talking about outside. It's distracting me, but I don't blame people for taking that position, really. I don't think they're awful people for thinking that way, but I think their solution is incorrect, and we should focus on other factors that push someone to carry out a mass shooting and try to, I guess, kind of sort of alleviate those factors. Or that's probably a poor choice of words. Just go after the factors that would lead a person to commit a mass shooting: mental health, other factors outside of that, maybe like their home life or the way they were treated as a person. I really wish this country just wasn't so indifferent to mental health issues. And of course, many people in this country don't have adequate health care, so they can't get their mental health issues treated. There are a myriad of different factors that lead a person to committing something horrible, socioeconomic factors, so many. But this country just chooses not to focus on that and focus on the absolute wrong solution, which is, restricting people on gun ownership. I wasn't expecting to get so political in this stream, holy shit, but yeah, when I'm in the state, I get all fired up and I'm hurting my voice even more. So, yeah. What was the biggest cope of all time? I don't know. I'd probably say this past election was a pretty big cope. I don't know if it was the biggest cope of all time, but I'd say it's up there. Time to drink the tears of Trump supporters. Yeah. We've been doing that for like the past 6 months. Mass shooting problem is really socioeconomic and mental health issues rather than a gun problem. Yeah. Neither do I, but socioeconomic factors are more important. Have you listened to the Strokes? No, I haven't. Heard of them, but I haven't listened to them. I see we have some Stroke fans in the live chat. Strokes fans in the live chat. I guess I'm missing out. I don't know. You might like them. The track Modern Age has a Lou Reed sound to it. Well, that's cool. I love Lou Reed. He's one of my favorite artists. Especially his stuff with the Velvet Underground. Classic. Well, I hate to cut your little chat about the Strokes short, all of you people in the chat, but I'm ready to head out. My voice is really just gone, and again, I have a headache, and I'm just kind of out of it right now, so I'm just ready to end the stream. It's been over 2 hours anyway. I usually end the stream after 2 hours. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate every single one of you. And it's always fun talking to all of you. Thank you to everyone who was here previously, who are not here now, for watching the stream, all that good shit. I don't know when I'll do another one of these. Maybe it might be a gaming stream. Who knows? Maybe it'll be whenever I start Resident Evil 4 on my PlayStation. I don't know. That's still a while for now because I still have some other games to play first. Before that, you are not interrupting my outro, lawnmower. Fuck you. Anyway, thank you all for being here, like I said. And maybe I'll do another one of these soon. I don't know. Maybe sometime in June, maybe sometime later this month. We shall see. Bye-bye. Take care.